The Galactic Academy's pristine corridors gleamed under bioluminescent panels, a testament to the Xinthian Empire's technological supremacy. Akira strode through the hallways with the confidence of someone born into the highest echelons of power. Her crystalline skin shimmered with an iridescent blue as she laughed with her fellow students, all of them from the Empire's most prestigious families. "Look at that," she whispered to her friends, nodding toward a figure in a worn gray jumpsuit, mopping the floor near the quantum physics laboratory. They actually let a human work here. The human in question was Rocky, a man in his late 30s with calloused hands and tired eyes. He didn't look up from his work, his movements methodical and precise as he cleaned a scuff mark from the polished floor. "I heard humans used to think they were special," one of Akira's friends snickered. "Before we discovered them, they actually believed they were alone in the universe." Akira's laughter echoed through the corridor. "And now look at them, cleaning our floors. How fitting for such a primitive species." Rocky's jaw tightened, but he continued working in silence. He'd heard worse in his 15 years among the stars. When the Xinthians had made first contact with Earth, humanity had been in awe, until they realized they were at the bottom of the galactic hierarchy. No advanced weapons, no faster-than-light travel, no genetic enhancements, just a species that had barely made it to their own moon. "Hey, human," Akira called out, stepping closer. "You missed a spot." She pointed to a perfectly clean section of the floor, her friends giggling behind her. Rocky straightened slowly, his dark eyes meeting hers for the first time. "I'll get right on that, ma'am," he said quietly, his voice carrying a weight that made something flicker in Akira's chest, something that felt uncomfortably like shame. But she pushed it down. "See that you do. We can't have the Academy looking anything less than perfect. Even a human should understand that." As Rocky knelt to re-clean the already spotless floor, Akira and her entourage swept past him, their expensive robes trailing behind them. What Akira didn't know was that her mother, Empress Thyra of the Xinthian Empire, was watching from a security feed in her office. The Empress's three eyes narrowed, and her hand clenched around the armrest of her chair. That evening, Akira was summoned to the Imperial Wing, an unusual occurrence. Her mother typically only called for her during formal occasions, or when she'd done something particularly noteworthy. Perhaps she'd heard about Akira's perfect scores in advanced stellar mechanics. She entered the grand office with a smile, ready to accept whatever praise awaited her. "Mother, you wanted to—" Silence. The word cut through the air like a plasma blade. Akira froze. She'd never heard that tone from her mother before. Empress Thyra rose from her throne, all 7 feet of her imposing figure radiating authority. "Do you know who you mocked today, Akira?" Confusion flickered across the young Xinthian's face. "The human janitor? Mother, I don't understand." "His name is Rocky Chen," the Empress interrupted, her voice cold. "And you will address him with the respect his title demands." "Title?" Akira's confusion deepened. "He's a janitor. He's a survivor," Thyra snapped. She activated a holographic display, and images flooded the space between them. 20 years ago, the Krevtar swarm invaded the Outer Rim. 43 colonies, 15 species, 2 million souls. Akira had heard of the Krevtar swarm, nightmare creatures that consumed everything in their path. The Empire had lost entire fleets trying to stop them. Rocky Chen was on the mining colony of Epsilon 7 when they arrived, Thyra continued. He was just a maintenance worker then, too. No weapons, no training. Just his tools and his mind. The hologram shifted, showing grainy footage of a desperate battle. When the Krevtar breached the colony, the garrison commander ordered an evacuation. But the shield generators were damaged, they couldn't escape. The images showed chaos. Civilians screaming, soldiers falling, the insectoid Krevtar tearing through defenses. Rocky Chen stayed behind, Thyra said softly. While everyone else fled to the evacuation ships, he went deeper into the colony. For 72 hours he moved through the maintenance tunnels, using nothing but mining equipment and maintenance drones. He collapsed tunnels. He vented sections to space. He rewired power conduits to overload in the Krevtar's path. The hologram showed a lone human figure, covered in burns and blood, dragging himself through narrow passages. By the time our fleet arrived, he had killed 317 Krevtar using tools meant to fix air recyclers and unclog waste systems. He bought enough time for 16,000 people to escape, including 2,000 Xinthian children from the academy on that colony. Akira felt her legs weakening. I didn't know. No, you didn't, Thyra agreed. Because Rocky Chen refused every medal we offered. Refused the title of defender. Refused a military commission. He said he wasn't a hero. He was just a man who did what needed to be done. So he went back to work. Quietly. Humbly. The Empress moved closer to her daughter, her eyes burning with intensity. The human species may not have our technology or our enhancements, Akira, but they have something we've lost in our centuries of comfort, the ability to make miracles from scraps, to fight impossible odds not with power but with ingenuity, to look at death and say, not today. Mother, I'm sorry, You will apologize to Rocky Chen tomorrow morning, Thyra commanded, and you will bow before him, as all beings should bow before those who embody the highest ideals of civilization. Not power, not privilege, but courage. The next morning, Akira found Rocky in the same corridor, cleaning the same floors. Her friends watched from a distance as she approached, confusion evident on their faces. Rocky looked up, expecting another insult, but instead Akira dropped to one knee, her head bowed low. Rocky Chen, she said, her voice carrying through the corridor, I ask your forgiveness for my ignorance and my disrespect. My mother has told me who you truly are, and I am honored to share these halls with you. Rocky stood silent for a long moment. Then gently he placed a hand on her shoulder. Get up, kid. No need for that. As Akira rose, tears streaming down her crystalline face, Rocky offered her a small smile. We all start somewhere. The trick is learning to see people for who they are, not what we assume them to be. He returned to his mop and bucket, but this time, Akira noticed what she'd missed before. The precision of his movements, the careful attention to detail, the quiet dignity in his work. Here was someone who treated every task with the same dedication he'd shown when saving thousands of lives. A janitor, yes, but also a legend who chose humility over glory. From that day forward, whenever students passed Rocky in the halls, they nodded with respect. And Akira never forgot the lesson her mother taught her, that true greatness isn't about the throne you sit on, but the choices you make when no one's watching. The end.